Bam Bam, Bam Bam.
You son of a bitch.
Hit you with the drop kick, Marty Jannetty. No, I hit you with the drop kick, Marty Jannetty. No, I hit you with the drop kick, Marty Jannetty. No, I hit you with that drop kick, Marty Jannetty.
Let me do this again.
Oh, it's live, pal.
And welcome back in to the latest edition of Hot Tag Wrestle Corner. I'm one half of your host. I am Rob.
I'm Clint.
And this is the newest show for this week. Typical one. Should get it in pretty quick. Just got this week's shows and the news. We'll probably get back with some Mount Rushmore like next week. Next week we'll actually have pay-per-view talk about NXT Battleground that happens tonight, right?
Yes.
So we'll talk about that. We're still a few weeks away from Forbidden Door, but there's a lot percolating right now going over on the AEW side, trying to set up their summertime and the rest of this year, and it's looking pretty good. As far as going into Forbidden Door and beyond, we got the Owen Hart tournament coming up. That's going to be pretty good. And then, of course, All In, which, I mean, All Out was, but I guess as big as this show is, All In is kind of like their version of WrestleMania now, and that's going to be in August. So we got all that coming up. So let's get into it, then. You want to start off? Or you want me to on the news?
You can start it off.
All right, brother. Let's do it like this, then. So, Mike Santana reflects on leaving AEW and opening up on his Addictions and TNA documentary they have coming out. On his AEW exit quote, and this story is reported by Wrestling Inc. Quote, it felt like we were at a hamster wheel just doing the same thing that we were doing since we came in. And I was like, okay, this is cool stuff. And, you know, we were in a pretty decent spot. It was like, all right, what's next? We have a timetable. We have a timeline for how long we can do this. And it's up to us to take full advantage of the years that we have left, you know. On his TNA Immersed documentary, quote, it's just something that shows why I do what I do and why I'm so passionate about it and why I put so much into it. Battling his addictions for his daughter, quote, she wrote for her Christmas list for Santa, and on her list, one of the things was that she wanted her daddy to stop. And that shit, you know what that is, you know.
It's bad.
Edge, as we talked about on last week's show, is a 50-year-old man jumping off the top of cages. Well, he hurt himself, and he spoke about it recently, put out a video recently also. I don't know if it was like on his YouTube or Twitter or such, but talking about the injury and how he has to get surgery and come back from it. He's basically on the shelf with broken legs, suffered a double or nothing. He reflected on why it's next for him once he returns. As noted, we said he broke the leg in the match with Malachi Black. Quote, part of me goes, well, you recreate yourself. This is reported via Wrestling Inc. But each injury kind of adds itself to the character that I was already portraying, which is, to be honest, not that far removed from who I am at this point. He continued that I don't know how much I changed. Honestly, I think it's just one more instance of like grizzled vet fighting back from another one. Copeland was forced to relinquish the TNT title due to the injury and underwent surgery to fix the break. Yeah, it was his tibia.
No, he was stripped according to the EVP.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't relinquish nothing. He was stripped.
New Japan has announced a new format for the changes to G1 34 coming up this year. A special video presentation. It came on during Dominion. It revealed the G1 will return to classic formats with new twists added for a fresh feel. After 2 years of 4 block formats, the G1 34 will return to 2 block formats.
Oh, nice.
20 entrant form of competition starting July 20th and the 21st with the opening weekend where both nights have 10 league matchups. Before I continue reading this, I have really wanted to do a full G1 here on the show, but goddamn, it's hard, bro. It's a lot of fucking wrestling across like a month. and you have to watch like and each show is like a pay. It's like 4 hours for each one. You know what I'm saying? So because it's round robin, so it makes it hard. Then do that on top of doing AEW too. I would like to, but I'm not gonna commit to the bid yet. I got stuff coming up on the horizon as far as job wise and my personal life. But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna stay close to this one. We'll see what happens. But anyway, the opening weekend will be July 20th, 21st, where both nights will have 10 league matchups. 18 entry revealed in the blocks next week at New Japan Seoul on June 16th. 2 more will be determined with the play-in qualifier tournaments that take place during the New Japan Seoul Tour, ending in the finals on the Budokan July 5th. Once G1 proper gets on its way, after 20-minute time limits during the G1, this year's league matchup will back to 30 minutes. Grueling contest. As ever, 2 points for a win, 1 for a draw. The standings go up in the league final nights. This year, though, it will be a top 3 finishers that advance. The second and third place finishers will face off against each other at Makuhara on August 15th. With the top point scorer receiving a bye to Raya Goku on August 17th. The semifinals will be determined an overall winner for each block to compete in a grand final on my birthday, August 18th. It was going to be a red hot summer. Don't miss the second G1. Don't miss the second of the G1 Climax 34. End of the statement. So that should be a little different for them. Hopefully it brings some new business back in. They got to get an influx of their talent. Their current problem in New Japan right now is that, so like, while Tanahashi and Okada and them and not even Tanahashi so much because he had been there. He was part of the early 2000s run. But let's say Okada, Naito, them cats that was coming in. At that point in time, it was cats behind them that they knew was going to be the next superstars coming in there. They still had the Bucks. They still had early Bullet Club, stuff like that. They had a whole bunch of, young cats.
Just go to all the latest Bullet Club.
Right,
like
exactly.
everybody ready, like.
Their problem now is that outside of maybe 2 guys that you can say, the other guys that were supposed to go left for Scares and they're coming back ain't getting over like that right now. So they're having a problem creating stars. Gabe Kidd's one. He's currently out with injury, and he just had, I'm guessing it was a working out of shoot, that whole retirement thing. I don't think he actually is because not anybody's been talking about it. So anyway, him, maybe Shooter Umino, maybe.
That's the one I was thinking.
And then Shota Yushi, who recently had a world title match. He had earned after winning the New Japan Cup early this year. That's basically it. All the other guys, Uramura, any of the other cats, they ain't really being over. And unless they go get a whole bunch of Gaijin, which is not really good for the company long term because they're going to basically want to leave and come back to the States.
What about Shingo Takagi, I think?
Yeah,
wasn't he another one that was supposed to like?
Yeah, but Shingo's older though.
So they ain't gonna be ass.
I mean, they could put it on it. I could see Shingo being another run as a top guy in the company, but
they need some young blood coming
in. That's the problem.
Yeah,
that's the problem. That's part of the reason some people have been like maybe being iffy on Forbidden Door this year because in New Japan it's like, well, what are they really bringing to the table? So far, so good on the booking side.
Well, you're going to have your stable ones that you're going to bring over. You're going to have the people that you know you're going to bring.
On the matches that have been announced so far, so good, but even if you look at the AEW World Title match, that's 2 AEW opponents. One just happened to formerly working in Japan. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, though, they do have on the women's side, they got Stephanie Booker is going to be taking on Mercedes Moné, and that's going to be title for title to make that even bigger. Then they also are going to have Mina Sarakawa taking on Toni Storm, and that is going to be big, and that has storyline implications there for Mariah May, so that should be good too. And then the Jack Sabre Jr. versus Orange Cassidy. Other than that, nothing else has really been announced yet. So we'll see what happens as the month goes on. Big Crow, formerly Alicia Fox, on her in-ring return, and potentially join AEW or TNA. Alicia Fox recently shared thoughts on her in-ring future and potentially joining another major wrestling promotion like AEW or TNA. Fox has been going by Vix Crow since she exited WWE last year and has worked a couple matches in recent months. She spoke with Muscleman Malcolm for a new interview and asked if she had been interested in some of the big companies and going back there anytime soon. Quote, "Someday, yes, I can see myself joining one of them, and some days, no." This reports per Wrestling Inc. Quote, "I always think about Zack Ryder and how he's been able to really work the territories, and I think that's just fun. That's what I find."
That's a perfect example to follow, too.
That's what I find at Hatchet Pro Wrestling School is a nostalgic feeling of like when Kelly and I went to practice. She continued that Deep South girls, all these women have held their hands of another woman somewhere. So it's just very curious experience for me, but I think it's better to do that when I have more boots on the ground in other companies and meeting more women too. I think it's what I want to do because it's where wrestling is more sweet. Crow worked her HER event in April, taking on Mickey James with her as Mickey James' promotion, and then returned to the in-ring.
Her as Mickey James promotion?
Yeah. That's
okay.
And returned to the ring against First Wrestling Hot Streak, against First Wrestling. It says the name of the event. I'm not sure if the wrestler's name is First. Anyway, at Wrestling Hot Streak event in May.
Hot Streak might be the name of the event, probably.
It says First Wrestling Hot Streak event in May, but then this is the whole sentence. Then return to the ring again. Oh, I thought it said against. I combined the word there. My bad. That's my bad. It's my fault. Return to the ring again at First Wrestling Hot Streak event in May.
Oh, okay.
I apologize. Penta Zero Mano. AW contract reportedly ending soon. WWE is reportedly to be interested in him. I know you said that, and hopefully, I think maybe we'll see if we read it here. You said he's been trying to buy his naming rights.
Yeah.
Like Penta. That's smart, bro. That's smart, because you know they're going to slave name the fuck out of you once you get there.
I can't even say that because they've been letting people keep their names. Tama Tonga kept his. Tama Loa kept his.
Yeah, that's true, but that don't mean they ain't had to say
I don't know. Now, Penta El Zero Meta, that might be a tough one to keep. But, I mean, he let them keep their name when they come over, so. But even if he don't go there, just if you go somewhere else, though, that is smart, though, buy your name, though. Everybody, more and more superstars starting to do that. They need to.
According to a report by Lucha Libre Online, Penta El Zero Mato's AEW contract is believed to expire later this summer. His contract is expected to be up somewhere between August and September of this year, so maybe right before or right after All In. By the way, sidebar, All Out got pushed back this year by at least a week, so it's not going to be just the next week after they come back from England. It gets spread out a little bit, give a little more booking into it and stuff. Additionally, it said that WWE has interest in signing Penta if he becomes a free agent. Penta has been part of the AEW roster since the company began in 2019. During this run, he's had the AEW tag titles with his brother Ray Phoenix as the Lucha Brothers. He's also held the AEW Trios title as part of Death Triangle, along with Ray Phoenix and Pac. Penta was in action on last week's edition of Rampage. We'll speak on, last week when he lost to Konosuke Takeshita. He was also on this week's. We'll talk about it in a second. He lost that match against Takeshita as a qualifying match for the TNT Championship at Forbidden Door. And he faces Butcher on this week's Rampage. We'll talk about that when we speak on the recap.
Butcher.
Down to two more from me. Great Khan on his thoughts on the talent leaving in Japan believes it will continue. In a post on X, Great Khan gave his thoughts on the departures of several New Japan wrestlers in the past year. Something he believes will continue. The company has lost several stars, including Jay White, Kazuchika Okada, Will Ospreay, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa in the last year. Great Khan writes, "I've expressed my personal opinion on strengthening a relationship with AEW. To be honest, I think the problem with the relationship is that New Japan doesn't have financial resources. I don't know if the Aussie Open went to AEW because New Japan Pro Wrestling didn't or couldn't sign them, but if they had financial means, they probably would have done so. because before he went to AEW, he was so talented enough to become the he's speaking of the tag team when he says they were talented enough to become IWGP Tag Team Champions. So it would be weird to not sign that contract. There were also may have been various reasons why other wrestlers moved to AEW, but there's no doubt that the high contract fees were the main reason, and this transfer trend is sure to grow. First of all, how many wrestlers have moved from New Japan to other organizations in Japan under the Bushiroad system? Other organizations in Japan has countless names. In the past, all the organizations could have made a living just from professional wrestling, and that wasn't much different in the sales. There was a lot of movement between them. The reason there hasn't been much movement recently is clearly because New Japan Pro Wrestling is a big hit in Japan. Meaning, when he says that, if you can't understand, so you know how Zack Ryder's like, like Lisa Fox was talking about Zack Ryder.
He's all over the promotions. He's everywhere.
Yeah, but he's basically, he's commanding his fee the same, so it's better fit for him to go here and go there and get spread out there because he's still getting his money while you're still knowing him all over. For them in Japan, it's the opposite. It's like they could do that, but he said, as much as he's saying New Japan isn't getting enough money to keep these names, they're the one getting the most money over there right now, I think is what he's saying. They're not like him going to like a All Japan or like a Noah or like a DDT, like in pay kind of was a downgrade for him. So it's kind of like, what's the point for him? That's like Becky Lynch coming here and going to AIW and shit for a couple of shows. Like, what is that fucking worth to her? She can sit at home and make the same dough. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So it's like, basically, it's like...
And I'm not saying the downgrade is that much WWE to AIW, and this is me shitting on AIW.
No, I get what
but
you're
I'm saying
saying.
there's an obvious difference of level.
It's like, why... You might
And
well
I'm thinking that's what he's saying.
He's saying, if I'm stuck here in New Japan on that, I'm going there and what's going to cost me more, I might as well just go to WWE. I know they're going to pay me. Pay me more than what I'm making here. Because they want my services that bad, so... yeah, I get what he's saying. I'm
going to continue his statement. It's not too long, much longer. It's a couple paragraphs, but it's very interesting. That's what I heard what he was talking about. That's why I pulled this up. Continuing. I think the main reason that he didn't leave New Japan Pro Wrestling go overseas was because there was a risk that if he was able to went to an unstable organization where he could be released or get fired, then he would leave New Japan Pro Wrestling, which is like New Japan's lifetime employment system. The fear that wrestlers who would leave would never be able to return to New Japan. Excuse me. However, being connected to AEW means it's easy to go and then come back. It's represented by last match event, which is a spectacular send-off for the team. As a player, it is only natural and the right choice to move to a better position with money. However, for those who are prepared to give it their all, the management and New Japan Pro Wrestling fans will be the ones who will lose out. I can't say for certain that if they had created this term to AEW offers better contracts, and they send them off with smiles on their face even if they move. And then, of course, the movement will continue to accelerate. So then what do? First of all, financial resources. There are various ways to do this. One opinion would be to increase the ticket price. Another would be to make it cheaper for people to come easier. Yeah, so get more people by lowering the ticket price in the opposite way of raising the ticket price. I'm just explaining that. You get to promote your own ideas, and regional revitalization is a good value for the money. If the venue already has been reserved, and filling it to capacity will increase sales without incurring costs. In addition, AEW wrestlers will not be attending local events. Overseas organizations will not have no involvement, so only the rivals will be domestic organizations. So how do we get overcrowded? There are several ways to do this, but I think we need to have a match that can only be seen at this venue, a title match. Not only can the King of Pro Wrestling propose different rules every day, but the rules are decided by the voting, which I think is a unique feature can only be experienced at this venue. This has gotten long, which I realize too since I'm reading it. But this has gotten, and I like that he realizes it too. This has gotten long, but the exodus of wrestlers will continue in the future. In order to stop this, we need to increase our financial strength. One of the various measures is we can take to increase the number of spectators at local events. Although I am just one wrestler and several members of the team continue to move to AEW, I am looking forward to doing what I can. It is embarrassing to call yourself the world's the world's third-rank organization. Like Hiroshi Tanahashi, he has made a name for himself as the future ruler true ruler of the New Japan of Pro Wrestling, having made a number one organization in the world. But for now, I'll do my best as the King of Pro Wrestling on June 9th. So I like what he was saying.
And that do fall on Tanahashi. You're not
And
getting no
he's,
people
at least
in
he's
there,
trying,
though.
and he's not being. I don't feel like he's being
He's not.
critical as he's trying to offer
Solutions.
solutions.
But he's been there through it all,
He's
though.
offering constructive criticism and solutions too. He's not just shitting on it. He's trying to say, well, this is what we could do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you should listen to him as somebody that been a fixture of New Japan as long as he has been. Like, his word means. It's like, I'm trying to think. Okay, it's like if Stone Cold it's like if Undertaker comes out and says something about WWE, or somebody like Kenny Omega says something about AEW. That like some constructive, like, you're gonna have to listen to what they're saying, and you're gonna have to think on it. Like, they're that much of a staple of it. So like, I don't feel like he's shitting on them. I mean, like, you said, back to what you're saying, like, they didn't really have nobody like kind of carry the what's the name after them. I mean, like, and that kind of do follow Tanahashi a little bit. Like, you gotta find some people that like you believe
I
that
don't
will
feel
come
like
over.
that falls on Tana because Tana's not been in that role long enough for that to fall on him. There was people in front of him like Harold Mays and other people that were the ones that are supposed to be putting those people in that position. Tana just got there. This on Tana now to build that, but I don't blame Tana.
Okay.
It is on Tana,
It's on
but I
him,
don't
though.
blame him.
Okay.
Because, I mean, you just got in that position, bro. Like, he's only been a president since, like, he hasn't even been a year. So I was like, I'm like, I can't say that's his fault.
Yeah, but also too though, you're like the biggest star in Japan.
Yeah, so
Everybody know who you are, bro.
yeah. So in that way, it's
So
even
like,
more on you.
It's on you to like fix this
because
situation. People know who
carry
you
the
are.
weight to do it.
Yeah, you got the name.
You have
make
the
to
clout
do it.
to do that.
So that basically goes two ways with that one. But yeah, I'm not blaming him because, like you said, he just took that position. But like at the same time, like, you're the biggest thing in Japan. Like, we know your accolades, bro. Like,
We know you're
like when we think Tanahashi Japan, you know who he is. Like, you don't have to watch wrestling in Japan, but you know who he is. You know, you heard of him somewhere. So like, he gotta step it up and get some of these people over here. And also too, I mean, you gotta think about some of these guys are getting up there in age. Like, what is Okada, like close to 40?
Like, he's 38 or 39.
Like eventually he want to go over, like, I think I'm hearing that like he want to go over like overseas like 3-4 years before he finally went to AEW. You know, but he was out of loyalty though.
Yeah, exactly.
Out of loyalty though. So like at the same
That's
time,
what
like,
that's why I
gotta be
read
loyal
that
to
whole
themselves.
thing. That's why I read that whole thing. I love what Great O'Connor was saying there because a lot of guys, they do kind of stay out of loyalty, but he was kind of saying
You gotta get loyal to yourself though.
But
Like,
eventually, yeah, that's what
like
he
you said, like
said.
how much they paid Okada when he and them went over there, like that contract that he got. You tell him you're not leaving New Japan to take that contract,
Yeah, and they offer you like he said, listen, bro,
and he still
like,
would come back to Japan whenever
Yeah.
he wanted. Like,
you ain't even gotta live here. You don't have to. Just come over, do a couple shows, go back.
Yeah.
Same contract basically Osprey has.
basically,
Osprey going back and forth. This week Osprey wasn't on Dynamite. Dynamite wasn't hurt by it at all. It was a really
they say
good
something kind of gave him a
match.
week off.
That's what they do. Give them a week off. Go see your fam, do your thing, come back, work a couple
Yeah,
weeks,
so
go
like-
back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Get your time in. Shit. Like, and then on top of that, for him, you get a whole pay, the biggest pay of the company in your hometown.
Yeah.
Can't beat that.
Yeah, so I get it. I get what he's saying, and they need New Japan. They need to listen.
Well, maybe not his hometown, at least his home country. So
New Japan, they need to listen to what Great O'Connor's saying. And again, some of them guys over there getting older, they look at greener pastures. No one, what was it? Tomatonga, like, how long was he being rumored to
he
leave?
was there for a decade.
He stayed forever. You thinking like he gonna be like the New Japan Moose. He ain't gonna go
You know
nowhere.
what's crazy?
Go nowhere.
Tangaloa, do you know Tangaloa was in WWE before? He was Camacho. So he left there, went to New Japan, and then went back.
He built himself.
And got himself
He
and
built
then
himself
came
as
back
well.
as
Look at
somebody else. You know.
So, I mean,
Well, actually, he came back as who he was in New Japan, really.
basically, yeah.
My last story was on Chuck Taylor, just reporting on an injury. He did AEW Close Up with Renee Paquette, which was an interview show. He basically speaks on the injury and that he's not scheduled for surgery. He's taking the summer to keep learning. They keep learning production at AEW, so maybe he's gonna work backstage.
He's gonna go the Bobby Roode route, which is good.
His initial injury in October, quote, in October, I believe I injured my ankle originally. My foot was down. I was in a match on Rampage. We were tagging with the Hardys. I took a drop kick in the ropes, and as I was going out, my left ankle went out, and Angela Parker fell on my ankle. It was honestly my fault. I went to the doctor, and he told me I had a bruised talus, which is a bone inside of your foot that connects to the other bones in your foot. I had some ligament damage, and they thought I could rehab it. I did the rehab, and it didn't get better. And I went back, and they believed I needed surgery. On what it's been like since it's had this time off. Quote, I've been wrestling for 23 years, and the longest I've had off was the beginning of COVID. The longest I had gone without taking a bump was 5 weeks when COVID started. We came back, and for the first time I had off, you never want for it to have an injury. It was interesting because I'm so used to, okay, time to go wrestle. And to not do that is weird. Finding out your career might be over was also an odd feeling. On this career future, quote, I can get surgery, and then once I heal from that, I can hopefully reassess. Maybe it's me hoping. We've seen a lot of guys and gals come back from career-ending injuries. On his perspective has changed. Quote, wrestling is a verb. I didn't love it as much as I got used to it. Getting old and beat up, it just hurts. Knowing that you're reaching the end of your career kind of puts things in perspective. I don't want to be broken down, guy, just because I wanted another couple of years. End quote.
I like that saying. I consider wrestling like a verb. Like, man. But yeah, I mean, man, wish the best for Chuck, man. I mean, and he probably can come back. I mean, you look at you on a show with a bunch of people look at Edge. Look at Soraya. Like, remember her? Her, like, she came back. Like, you could come back. Yeah, my only thing is, like, I get it, and some like the thing, like, when, like, they said, like, with a broken bone, you started, like, I don't know. I might be different. If you tell me something broken, I need to get surgery, damn the rehab, I'm getting the surgery, okay? I'd rather rehab it after surgery where it's fixed and try to rehab it when it's not fixed, and then something else goes wrong. Goes wrong. Mm-hmm. That would it seem like basically is what he's saying. Like, it's like Rhea Ripley's situation with her shoulder. She's not going to get the surgery. She's going to try to rehab it.
Right. But
if the rehab don't work, you're going to have to get the surgery. Why not just get the surgery knowing that if the rehab don't work, surgery's an option. The option. You know? Just knock it out the way, because if the rehab don't work, then you set yourself back even longer. Because now you got to go do surgery and rehab. So it's like, I don't know though. So, exactly. But I mean, MJF ain't have surgery on his and was his shoulder, I think. He ain't get it on his. He just rehabbed it. So I don't know. It's just how your body reacts and your pain tolerance and everything like that. So
let's get into your stories, man.
Yeah, last couple quick. Spoke on Penta being contract expiring. One who contract is expiring that let the company know that he will not come back is Ricochet. And I think both of us here agree that
yes, I read it last night. I was like, yes!
Like
and it was like Kim, my sister, she was like, what? I'm like, oh, this is wrestler dude is finally the damn company, and he finally is. I was like, yeah.
And so I think a lot of people look at yeah. Like I said, I think he was showing in the Jobbers locker room, bro. He been doing there since then. So
he been in that Jobber locker room.
He let it be known that he will not re-sign his contract.
Man, so does that mean Samantha everything gonna be gone soon too?
She possibly. I mean, that's her fiance. His fiance. Yeah. His fiance. You know, a lot of wrestling clubs. You know, they like to. You know, don't really know many wrestling clubs that's like outside of separate promotions. You know. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's a possibility that her contract up, she possibly can go too. You know, I think that's the reason Becky Lynch probably won't sign with AEW. But I'm never saying never, because like, your husband is over there. It's a lot of couples, like, wrestling is one of those things where, like, you're not going to see a lot of couples, like, broken up. Rarely you're going to get a Rhea Ripley, Buddy Matthews situation.
Right. Exactly.
Situation. But I think everybody here happy for Ricochet, though, bro. Oh, I'm happy as hell.
We are here for sure.
Well, I'm like, Jesus Christ, bro, yes. Because, like, it is not his fault. And I will say this, like, Triple H tried. He put him in he had some spot. He put him heavyweight title match. But at the point, he got to the point I feel like he got so ruined down by Vince because Vince has this thing. He don't like short people. Short people. I feel like Triple H tried, but like Orion was on the wall though. Like he even said like Vince threw him a big money deal when AEW first opened to keep him from going. So he just took the money. So it's like you really ain't really had a plan. You just knew that like, oh, you just didn't want AEW to have him. So it's like, well, let me throw a lot of money at him. So it's like getting Vince in his bad business decisions. He's talking to a 5-year money-year deal.
Yep.
deal. So I mean, and like I said, ain't no heat from nobody backstage. Everybody's happy for him. They glad he's going out there betting on himself. It just shows the constant professional that he is, you know. So
Yeah.
like everybody's happy for him backstage. This ain't one of those situations where like people gonna come out and oh, Ricochet did. Everybody back there, Triple H, all them, they all love Ricochet. They want him to go and succeed and do well. You know, of course you got some fans that's salty about, oh, he's leaving, like, but I don't pay attention to y'all because y'all just like,
They ain't fans, them stands.
what's the name?
WWE stands.
So, props to Ricochet. He gonna be successful wherever he go. You know, he probably got the principal mask already, suit already shined up. You know, whatever, so wish him the best wherever he go. A couple of people, Natalia and WWE are still in talks, but no contract has been signed yet. Because the entire contract is probably at the end of the month. They're still in talks. She has been a fixture on TV. TV still. She's been doing a lot of NXT. She had a match on Raw this week against Kiana James. We'll get to that. So she also, I guess, is actually is in the Guinness Book of World Records for most wins as a WWE wrestler, women-wise, the matches. So, don't know. They said that if she do, they said AJ might be a chance, but if she do, they said that they might try to use her more like a producer to help with the Owen Hart thing, which I don't know, but I feel like the title still can go, so we don't know about that situation yet. Chad Gable's another one. Contract is expiring.
You know, I have to ask, and maybe Natty doesn't feel like this because it was her uncle, and at the time that these issues came up, she might have been too young to be on either side of it. But you know, like the Harts and like Martha Hart and them don't get along, right? Like Owen's family and her.
Yeah. Oh, her. Oh, she don't get along with. Oh.
No, hell no. Because when all of that was happening, they didn't want her to sue. They wanted to still stay good with WWE, even though they killed their brother, their son, their uncle, their family member in Owen. And she believed that. That's why she doesn't want his name associated with them.
No, I know all that. I thought
You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, like, Natty, you know, I wonder where she falls on that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, you know, like Natty. Yeah. I mean,
They might not be cool for her to be able to go over there and work on Owen. But if they are cool, that'd be awesome. At least, you know, you got another avenue open, you know what I'm saying? And you can honor her uncle.
yeah. Natty is in a tough situation because, like, you know, like I think Martha and Brett to this day still not what's the name, like.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not on speaking terms.
That's exactly why I brought this up. I wonder where she falls on.
But again, they said the title.
Maybe she's too young, and she was just like, "Listen, I love y'all regardless. Like, I ain't part of that. Like, that was them, my, you know, parents or uncles. Like, my personal opinion, I love y'all regardless, and I'm willing to help however. But you know, I don't know."
Yeah, they also said a key factor is probably gonna run us a lot about with her husband, like what they feel.
Yeah, he's a backstage producer
Backstage
with
producer,
WWE producer.
So,
TJ Kidd.
So we don't know with Natalia's situation. Chad Gable, on the other hand, said that he got a nice offer from WWE. People in AEW want Tony Khan to go after him, but Tony Khan can't go after him at the moment because it'll be considered tampering. Tampering, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So, but indications, there have been no indications that he's indicated he's leaving WWE. So we don't know. It might be a waited out and see thing. You know, he might see what AEW had to offer him. You know, so we'll keep an update with those. Alpha from Wild Samoans had successful back surgery. 81 still rocking. This is after he had heart surgery. Had successful back surgery. So he's still doing the damn thing. Vince McMahon is not allowed inside WWE headquarters. So this was former WWE employee Tom Carlucci revealed this during the interview. He said that McMahon has always wanted a corporate team in one building. After the new headquarters design, which should be 2 buildings, he can't even walk in the building. That's crazy. You gotta drive by that, and you got this big championship belt. He always wanted us from day one because we were in 2 different buildings. We had the corporate off exit 9, and then we were right down the street from the corporate office. One big production studio. He always wanted us under one roof. That was his dream, to have us under one roof. That dream came, and now he's not even a part of it anymore. He also said that McMahon's not allowed anywhere in the building, including that state-of-the-art gym inside headquarters that he helped design. He said the gym was created for Vince. He designed it with his trainer, Mike, who I know well. He can't even go into that gym no more. He can't step foot anywhere. Every meeting that he goes on over there, you'll never see Vince here from the TKO people. It's crazy what you think about it, that he's the legacy, basically. Like Randy Orton, on the other hand, said he's happy that Vince is no longer with WWE. And he basically said it's nice that he's gone now. He can spend more time with his family. He said, off the top of my head...
That's hilarious.
He said he's grateful for all the opportunity that Vince gave him. He said, but he admit that night that he's gone because now he can spend more time with his family. So I guess them part-time contracts Randy Orton was getting was never really them as exclusive as we thought they were. Because remember, we always just say Randy Orton had a sweet contract. He wrestled 4 months out the year. But he had the...
That's crazy.
He said, off the top of my head, and listen, I love Vince. He gave so many opportunities, but I think it was kind of time for him to move on. It's unfortunate that it happened in the way that it happened, but it's nice having people in charge of me that understand how important it is for you to be home for your birthdays, and home for Thanksgiving, and home for Christmas. Christmases. He said that he also added that he was wearing himself thin under the McMahon era before putting over Triple H in the new TKO era. So he said Vince, he had Raw on Monday night. He didn't care if you had kids. I came to him when I was 35. My back was really starting to go. And I played. I'm like, man, I got to not like do so many shows. Maybe have the tour so I can be able to recover. And he just looked at me like, oh, I need you on all these shows, Randy. Mother Nature gets us all. That's what I'll probably say. And to hear that and go, okay, well, I guess that's another thing for me to do other than just wear myself down to the nub so I can't walk no more for this man. And all these opportunities he gave me, it's nice having him out there, and it's nice having his son-in-law Triple H running the game. Nick Khan is great. Everybody at TKO that comes in and stepped in, they seem to get it. And it's just a different era. I think the way that they care for talent nowadays and make sure that talent is good and that they need a little bit of break, we're only human, they get it most of the time. What you said, what he echo a lot of people say about Vince though. Like Vince ain't care if you had kids.
Not at all. He didn't give a motherfucker.
He was what's his name? Last news story. This one is pertaining to Marty Jannetty.
Oh God, this ought to be great.
Okay, so
I'm gonna mute my mic so you can just have the stage. Oh, bad.
Marty Jannetty recently had some happy news. You know, had a fresh start from his past controversies. A few weeks ago, he got married. Then he shot his fan by impending divorce, citing betrayal by 2 close friends as the cause. So his wedding was officiated by WWE Hall of Famer former WWE Hall of Famer Brutus Beefcake's wife Missy Beefcake. Then all of a sudden he basically revealed the fall of his marriage on social media, on Facebook.
Shout out to Missy. I like Missy from their dark side.
He said, it must have been love, but it's over now. Divorce is on the way. Got backstabbed by 2 of my best friends. One of them lives here not much longer, though. But I'm trying to think. Didn't he have somebody living with him in the dark side?
Remember you rumors that killed somebody? So I don't take these threats lightly from Marty.
No, not that. I ain't going that far with that threat. I'm thinking like did he have in the dark side? Did he have somebody live with him, though?
He said not for long. And I can talk about the living with him part.
He said, P.S. It hurts a bit, but I'm used to hurting with the ladies. No problem. There's another one waiting. His words. Then we get to his... Oh, they're going to make me start. Oh, there you go. Oh, we get to his Facebook post. Yes, I'm putting his Facebook post out here. So his last quote was, Hold on. Let's start with just this one. So first of all, he says, fuck friends, especially you, Addy. Take my last name off you. Lance already fixed it. We ain't married no more. Good luck with your next one. Then he says, please don't be sad for me. It's fun while it lasted, but it's over now. No. Then he says, how are my backstabbers doing today? Y'all stab anyone else in the back yet? If not, don't worry. You got all day. Go to church, backstab someone there. Hell, backstab God that's not beyond you. Beyond you. And then a couple hours later, he put, you know what you did. Stop playing dumb, or are you playing? And then he, like Facebook, you put like tracks and stuff. So he got the backstabbers by the OJs. I don't know. Oh, he said, okay, all you dickheads that need to trash me, here's a gift. I'm low and it ain't even 11 a.m. yet. It still hurts a little bit. Backstabbers. Who the hell betrayed this? He said, just to let y'all know, I share my life out here in the public. Sometimes it's directed at certain people and they know who they are. The fact that the world sees it doesn't bother me a bit. Hell, you only hear because I entertained y'all for 40 years. So your basic family like it or not, and don't keep family secrets. And then that's what he recently just said. Here's what's up.
He said y'all basically family because I've been entertaining y'all for 40 years. And family don't keep secrets. That was a funny line.
Yeah, he said, here's what's up. Addie and I mended things. But a few of now my ex-friends are still talking shit. Anna Marie Tuskowski is one of them. So I guess he put a name on one of them. He said, hey, Ann, take my dick and run it up your mother's ass, and then put it back in your mouth, bitch. Damn. Damn, bro. Oh, no. Can I say all that?
Said enough.
Jesus, Marty. Jesus.
Damn.
Dang, Marty, who went off?
Was that the end?
That was the last one. You got Marty.
That's a weird note to leave it off
Ooh-wee.
of. Take my dick, stick it up your ass, then up your mother's ass, and put it back in your mouth. Double ass mouth. Wow. All right, Marty.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, so let's get into this week's shows.
Ooh-wee, that was, wow. That one got me. Let me refresh the screen, see if he put anything else up. Nope. Okay, that's the last of the Marginetti for the moment. Had to make sure. All right, you start with Monday Night Raw.
Well, I got collision.
Oh, my fault.
You're good. From 8 days ago. Excuse me. This collision emanated from Accenture Arena in Palm Springs, California. Excuse me. Show starts off with Tony Schiavone in the ring with FTR. They're out to have a little bit of a chat. Basically talking about healing up their wounds after entering the arena. And so they feel like they let their teammates down, but they're not dead yet. And saying that they won't be done with this fight against the Elite until they're buried in the ground. That's basically it. They just basically said they're still here and they're still fighting. Not that much here. Back up next is the opening match of the show. Roderick Strong versus Leo Rush. It's a pretty good match. Leo Rush being back. Not sure if he's gonna be making a permanent stay in AEW or this is just for a match. Taking on the Messiah, the backbreaker here. The Kingdom around, of course, offering distraction. Leo Rush takes him out eventually with the moonsault. Back with the springboard stunner that gives Rush a 2 count. But another Kingdom distraction messes up the final hour. Strong hits a hand of heartache to get the pin victory at 10 minutes and 38 seconds. Kyle O'Reilly challenges with Ospreay in the main event tonight for the International Championship. It's not about a great match though, because this is for the national title. Ospreay is coming for the world title soon, so he's overlooking Riley. O'Reilly, he feels like, who isn't leaving empty-handed. He says. Roger Strong comes up to Tony Khan, demands a world title shot after congratulating him on being net strong still. Christopher Daniels was standing next to Tony Khan during the exchange. So that's his avatar basically on TV. Right now. So we'll see how that continues.
His mouthpiece.
Next up, Dan Garcia and Shibata taking on the Workhorsemen. Both getting some work on TV here. I feel like taking on the Workhorsemen and them, for that matter, getting some work on TV because they're never really on TV at all anyway. This one's coming down to Garcia gets off a dance after hitting some rapid fire chops on Anthony Henry to get out of trouble. Drake sends Shibata to the outside with the running knees in the corner. Hit by Garcia. Drake's moonsault gets very hot too. Shibata making the save. Back up Shibata sleeper on Drake. Puts him down for the count. Hits the PK for the victory. 9 minutes and 55 seconds. Postmatch, they all pose together after that. Next up, recap of Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway turning on Willow Nightingale, Double or Nothing. Statlander and Hathaway have a gift for Nightingale, a bunch of garbage, just like her. That's what they say. Next, Thunder Rosa taking on Reina Dorada. For a squash match, this went a little harder than it should have for her, I felt like. Rose took her down, started grinding away with her front face lock, arm drag into a drop kick. Dorada was in trouble. Rose cranks both arms. Rose wins the forearm exchange, hits the Tijuana bomb on each 2 count. Sent her back for a Cobra clutch and made her tap for the win. Post-match, Saints not over with Perazo. Next up, the Cage of Agony taking on Danny Rose, Ricky G, and KM. If you don't recognize who those names are, that's because it's time to play Guess the Length of This Squash.
I'm not saying I don't know who none of those people
Oh,
are.
I knew you didn't. I can tell by your face.
KM. I'm like, maybe that may be abbreviation for somebody. I don't know. I'm going to say a minute. I'm going to say a minute 50. I think them guys got a little bit of offense in.
Yo, you're close. Off by 6 seconds. A minute 44. Cam is probably more than a foot taller than Rose. So his chin is as high as the top rope. Toa used them to run over and start Cage and apron suplex on KM. All 3 of them threw Rose into the air for a big crash in the pin. After Rampage, Tony Storm with Luther May is not happy with what Saraya did to May. Forbidden Door is wide open and violence is teased. Not much more there said on that. She had better promo later in the week. Claudio Castagnoli taking on Johnny TV. Johnny TV, of course, out with Taya Valkyrie. Match goes for a while. You know what, this match, though it was, squash written all over it, the one thing I was ready for to see what would happen out of it was to see Claudio do the spin on him. Because it seems apropos for Johnny TV to be spun, seemingly. His parkour doing that. Anyway, so, and we get to that part, actually. Claudio hits a suplex, sending him to the corner, and hits a running uppercut. The swing gets broken up, and then they get slung out of into the TV. He flips it into a neck breaker and gets a 2 count out of it. So that was pretty dope. Claudio fights back after interfering Taya, though. Back in, TV misses Starship Pain for a nasty crash. Instead, a reverse suplex is put on Johnny TV. He's down for a sharpshooter. Taya interfering once again. The swing is set up. Running clothesline gets Claudio to pin. Video package of the Premier Athletes. That's it. There's a promo of the Premier Athletes, which I'm not sure why, because they're never on any of the AEW main roster shows. They're strictly on ROH, so I'm not sure why they show this. But I guess maybe they're coming up to get squashed by somebody soon. Next up, Next up is Shane Taylor Promotions taking on West Coast Wrecking Crew.
Same applies, but it goes longer than our normal squash game. So
That's the match I was thinking about where the dude got a little bit of offense in. Okay. Raw squash match. Well, not squash match, but raw match, I'll take.
Anthony Ogogo is here. Tomorrow from the crew is Jarrell Nelson and Royce Isaacs. Moriarty takes Isaacs down for the start. Nelson comes in to run over him with a shoulder. Chinlock slows Moriarty down. Isaacs grabs a fisherman suplex for 2. That's enough. Moriarty. Tater comes in. Trash talks. Hits some loud chops. The beatings begin. Isaac manages to get a knee out of the corner, though. He's back up for Nelson. Hit a missile drop kick. Taylor headbutts him into a reverse rock bottom, setting up a splash with Isaacs, having to make the save. Everything breaks down. Taylor knocks Nelson silly, setting up the Marcus Garvey driver for the pin in 5 minutes and 4 seconds. Post-match, Ogogo gets in another punch. This one looks better than the rest they've been doing, though. I'll say that. Then we get your main event. Will Ospreay versus Kyle O'Reilly. Nice blending of styles here where you get more of a technical wrestler who's more strike-based versus everything that Will Ospreay is. This match ended up getting plenty of time with 21 minutes and 17 seconds. And to me, it saved a middling show because all the other matches on here weren't like necessarily that you had to see, you know what I'm saying? This one I say is a pretty good match. You definitely should check out. As I said, it went 21 minutes and 21 minutes, 17 seconds. Basically, the theme of the match was Kyle O'Reilly working Ospreay's limbs, first his arms, to try to get him not to be able to hit Blade later in the match. But eventually, he doesn't need to do that because he has no red moves. Ends up actually beating him and retaining the title with the Stormbreaker. After hitting another running elbow on him. That was your collision for Saturday night.
Yeah, that was a good main event, too. Between them two. All right. Now, I get to Monday Night Raw. Oh, we're going to send him off the last mirror. The last mirror I'll start off with. It started off with Liv Morgan kissing Donna Mysterio after Dom accidentally helped her regain her championship. So it starts off with Liv Morgan. She welcomes us to the Revenge Tour. She talks about, brag about Andrew Ripley, how she sent Becky into early retirement, but she said kissing Dom was the ice on the cake. Dom comes out here, and the fans finally let him speak after they did the whole thing and they boo him. He said, Mommy's going to kill you, and then Liv's like, she's going to kill you too, basically. Like, what's her name? And she basically said she'll make it worth his while, so she basically rubbed up against him. Finn come out here and say, no, Liv, no, stop, basically. Then basically, Liv and, Dom, you don't want me, basically. She rubbed his head. Dom don't really say no, so it's like... Next, we get a recap of Kaiser and Sheamus brawling. Sheamus said Kaiser ain't much more than a can dog carry Gunter's coat. He said, if you want me, he said, you want my respect, put on banger after banger like he does. This leads to a match between these two. Then these two again. Another match, you just got two dudes just beating the shit out of each other. Hard hand match. The key here is Kaiser go after Sheamus' knee. Celtic Cross is loaded up. Kaiser slips out, which means Sheamus hits the bro kick, but he missed. He hits the turnbuckle. Basically the ref trying to like intervene, something like checking on his knee. Sheamus says no. Sheamus start hawking up, firing off chops. White noise get broken up. Kaiser kicks him in the knee. He gets the pin at 13 minutes. Next we get Judgment Day. They ask what Dom is doing. He said he had under control. Priest don't seem convinced. He told him to focus on issues tonight. Then we get Dragunov. He's up there talking to Ricochet. He tells him be careful against Rob Breaker. Ricochet, he's ready. He's going to finish things with Dragunov after he get done. Take care of Breaker. Next we get Dragon Lee versus Finn Balor. Finn gets the win here with the coup de grace. 8 minutes. Spec match. Dragon Lee against looking smooth on the main roster. They plan on having something for him, but Basically, Judgment Day needed a win, so Finn's going to get the win there. Get the win there. Beat down after the match, but out comes Bray and Braun. Priest ain't happy with Braun Strowman. He said need to get solved. Carlito gets a match made. Then our golden, I call him our wrestling national treasure. We get our first R-Truth appearance.
Sidebar.
I seen the video you showed
I was
me.
about to ask.
That was funny. I'm like, bro, anything but a mug. I'm like, I'm like, that's our truth. I even wait for that song to go like, she like, he said, I know how hard it is with the Judgment Day. Being in this group is hard, but it's the best time of my life. Miz interrupted said, we're the reigning tag team champ, but this was the best time of your life, though? Then True, like, you're obsessed with Judgment Day. And then Miz made his face like, what you talking about? Like, Sammy comes out here. He said last time he was in Pennsylvania, he won an Intercontinental Championship, but he hasn't been able to enjoy it because of Gable. He wants Gable out here, out of Alpha Academy. Matheny the Priest bringing a message. It basically assaults the Academy. I issue a challenge to Zane, who was set for cash at the castle. He told about how Zane talked about everything Gable been putting them through. He said that the team is better than that and they need to be themselves, free themselves. Gable jumps him from behind. Otis don't look happy. Gable holds Zane up and tells Otis to hit him, but Otis won't do it. So Gable does it, then yells a lot until Tozawa comes out. Then this when they get what's her name. So the Pre comes in, breaks that up, and then he tells her to get on her knees and beg him to stop beating up like Tozawa. They tell them to leave, then Otis gets in between them. Zane goes to take out Gable, but he winds up knocking him into the Pre and Tozawa. They go out to the floor. Otis lays Zane out, then he basically carries them two to the back basically. After that, we get backstage with Adam Pearce and Braun Breaker. Breaker said he will break Zane in half. We get Ricochet versus Braun Breaker. Okay. Breaker gets the win here, which is going to be funny. End of the match. Lion Saw gives Ricochet a 2. He super kicks Breaker again. Ricochet gets caught on top. By the way, Braun Breaker hit the meanest Frankensteiner Monday. Forgot his size. Hit the Frankensteiner. Spears Ricochet, finishes him off. It was a classic power versus speed match, basically. Next we get the Ty versus Kiana James. Kiana James hit the 401k. She gets the win. 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Then we get New Day and worry about Karen Cross trying to split them up. Cross said the power positivity is dead. It's dead. Next we get Natalya who runs into Sonya Deville, who's backstage. Natalya says it's time for a change. Then she basically holds her off because Deville goes to talk to Zoe Stark, Shayna Baszler. Carlito versus Braun Strowman. It's time for our favorite game. Yes, Carlito was part of this game. Guess that squash.
All right, buddy.
Carlito versus Braun Strowman. Sad that Braun Strowman.
1 minute, 37 seconds.
Right. Basically, started off, Lito comes in with a knee. Judgment Day comes to distract Strowman. He shows off the backbreaker attempt, reverse show slam, minute 24.
I was off for 13 seconds.
Post-match, Judgment Day comes out with Strowman, who basically swats China Dom's hand. Now, this is the part. So now he got the chair, and he's going up. He about to hit Dom with it. Liv Morgan stands between them both, basically begging him to back off. And then Judgment Day basically takes control. They basically put him down for a bunch of chair shots. As we get our tag team title match, which is Zoe Stark versus Shayna. Zoe Stark, Shayna Zoe Stark, Shayna Baszler versus Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. This match ended in DQ because Albert Fire and Isla Dawn jumps Cargill for the DQ win. Next, we get New Day versus Ultra Pain. The What a Rush finish was at 228, basically. Priest versus Rey Mysterio. This is our main event. End of this match. Mysterio have to escape a Super Razor Edge. Hurricane sets up 619, dropping the dime. Judgment Day got to Mysterio. Dragon Lee come to even things out. Mysterio take all them out, but then he walks into a South of Heaven for the loss at 16 minutes. Priest gets the win here. After the match, Drew McIntyre comes down and lays out Priest, but Finn Balor basically sacrificed himself and takes the Claymore for Priest. So that's the end of Monday Night Raw. Go to NXT, which is our go home show. First match, Jordan Grace versus Stevie Turner. Vader Bomb, Juggernaut Driver. Grace gets the win at 2 minutes and 59 seconds. Match did its point basically. Supposed to make Jordan looks strong on her match against Perez. They have a standoff. Her and Perez done. Trick asked last lady how she changed Ethan Page. She said she know, but she had to cut off the relationship because she needs that Woman North American Championship, basically.
Talking about tonight?
Huh?
She talking about with Trick.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically. Yeah. Booker T basically is. I like when it's really like contract negotiation, like like the contract sign, but Booker T called it MCing, basically. He has all 6 women in the Women North American title match. The chance that what it's like to be around a ladder. Jada Parker basically, this is her time. She threatened everybody. Sasha Lay said this is her match because she will be on her own. Kaylani Jordan said no one will try. But so Ruko had the best line though. She said, y'all won't try. She said, but I promise I'm going to snatch 5 souls. And we're going to get a soul snatcher off a ladder. I'm calling it in this match. This happened, and I'm waiting for it. We're going to get one. And last said he found it funny, but Sunday is about being crowned a champion. Then basically, this basically leads to a brawl. Robert Stone makes a 6-man tag match. I don't know why he makes a 6-man tag match. Maybe because he often runs off the fact that Lexis King lost to Dante Chen back-to-back weeks. Thea Hale versus Jasmine Nix. Nix gets the win here at 4 minutes. 4 minutes. This was after Hale get distracted by the referee. Now, Thea Hale get distracted by what's going on with Andre Chase and Ridge Holland, basically. Next, the OC jumped X-Tom and Nathan Frazier at the merchandise truck and basically beat them down. Heritage Cup, Tony D'Angelo versus Damon Kemp. D'Angelo retains at 9 minutes and 44 minutes overall. He basically swept Damon Kemp. Are we not surprised, though? Next, Ethan Page. Ava said each one of the time contract been in the ring, but there's some details that need to be solved. Trick said give Page whatever he wants, and he'll be out there to even make sure that it signs. Demi Chan basically introduced herself to Jordan Grace. They seem like they cool. Jane Parker talks more trash. Ariana Grace said that she and Jordan not related. Really? Pasley comes to admire the knockout title, but Jordan says the more important things. We get a promo between Baszler and Vice for NXT Underground at Battleground because they're both MMA fighters. Izzy Dan versus Natalya. Natalya gets the win here at 4 minutes. Next, Lexis King brags about attacking Dante Chen, who jumped from the start of Brawl. It's broken up, so King issues a chance for one more fight. 6-woman tag match, Last Legend, Kaylani Jordan, Fallon Henley versus Michin, Jaden Parker, Sol Ruko. Sol Ruko gets the win here with a Soul Snatcher on Last Legend for the win at 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Next, Stevie Turner asks Ava for another match, but she don't get an answer. Then we get to our main segment. It's the contract signing. So she brings out Ethan Page. Page talks about how great of a signing he'll be. But she said she's not meaning as the man's. Paige said, Paige was like, so you're not meaning by the man. He like, y'all need star power. He like, y'all lost what? 8 people during the draft? 8? 8? 8? Hey, he's like, y'all need me. Fan-star champ of Trick Williams, but gets on his nerves. He basically comes out here now. Table clear, and Williams said, get wherever you want. Paige said, he said, I've been in the shadow of a lot of years. He said, you had the same problem, but the difference is you made a name for yourself. So if you broke away from Hayes after you was his backup, his middleman, he's like, I'm here to do the same thing. He like, when I attacked you last week, he like, it wasn't me trying to prove I'm better. You like, it's just me trying to make my statement, make the same opportunity that you had. He cut a passionate promo. promo. And he basically said, I want to do the same thing. He signed the contract, but Ava won't do it. And he goes there, he like, Ava, he like, you been rocking with me for how long? He like, yeah, that man, whatever he want. He basically said the deal is, if he signed, he gets a title shot at Battleground. Paige said that. He said it was mean it's going to be the end of the whoop that air, basically. She signed it, they have a stare down, and that's basically how NXT go off the air. So, Ethan Page comes in, gets him an NXT title shot. Immediately, I wouldn't be shocked if he wins Sunday at Battleground. I wouldn't be shocked if he do. They're not.
I'm about to say, you don't just chalk Trick already?
No, I'm not chalking them. I mean, I think Trick gonna win, but I'm saying I won't be surprised if Paige do win, though. You know, like, I won't be shocked if he do.
Oh, okay.
He shouldn't. We're gonna see a Sexy Red appearance of that. She's gonna make her presence known at some point in this match. But, no.
All right, man. Let's get into AEW Dynamite from this week, man. Located in the Blue Arena in Loveland, Colorado, the show is opened up with MJF, who is in his new era, in his new bag, coming out a little more asshole-ish with the leather jacket.
Still got your Triple H a la 20.
It's not his jean jacket.
But it's not a jean jacket, though, but still, though. The look is still there, though. I like it, though. I like it from MJF. He wasn't so orange. He wasn't so damn orange like he was when he showed up at Western.
First off, he says his eyes are a little squinty because he's been smoking. He's in Colorado. He shields his new merch. Real quick, which is like Wolf of Wall Street themed. First up, he says we have the Rainmaker, who seems to afford all these fancy cars or Ferraris, but it seems like his body looks like he can't afford a gym membership. Then we have Swerve Strickland. He says, hey, Shane, you know, you call yourself a business mogul, but...
He called my government name?
Mm-hmm. he said, but seemingly when you went to business mogul school, you skipped public speaking class. Finally, we had this new Cockney accent guy comes around, calling himself the best in the world. MJF, now this part I had to check. He named off all these dudes that seemingly he said, Ray, that Will Ospreay never beat. Will Ospreay beat half the people on that list, and the other 4 he's never faced. So he said CM Punk, Cody, who you can't because they're in WWE, so those are kind of impossible.
At least he fought. I don't think he never faced them. At least he faced them over in Japan, but I don't think Cody never went to Japan.
I don't think he faced them.
I don't think he faced neither one of them before.
They were there at the same time, but I don't think he faced them.
I don't think he faced neither one of them.
He named Tanahashi.
He beat Tanahashi before.
He named Omega. He named Moxley.
He beat both of those.
Danielson. He named Samoa Joe, who is in AEW, which he could face him.
He could, but I don't think he faced Samoa Joe.
And
Did he beat Moxley?
Probably
in Japan, probably.
I don't know if they faced. And then there was one more. But half the list of the 8 people he named, he beat them.
Okay.
That's I'm like, here it be happening. What are you talking about? But anyway, I got his point. But he basically, he said he carried this place, but when he was going healing guts, people tried to smear his name. Rouge came out talking about he's like every other American. MJF never shuts up. Talking about where it's a celebration, his big moment for coming back. I've been here working this whole time while you've been out. MJF said, I didn't catch any of that. Couldn't understand through your accent. I don't know, maybe Brandon Cutler running the audio now. Especially it's got a little shittier, so the EVP. But anybody else, could they hear him? He said, and basically he just went ahead and said that doesn't matter. He laid out his bona fides to him and then explained why he's still the best and how he's beating some of the best. And basically they're gonna add a pull apart from here, set up a match for them coming up in the near future. Hopefully not at Forbidden Door. I'd like to see that on a Dynamite. See MJF face somebody a little bigger at Forbidden Door, but we'll see what happens. Good first, I think, match for him coming back, you know what I'm saying, since he's more of a hard edge heel now against somebody who's going to give him a good fight, you know what I'm saying, and push him, I think. Roos is a good opponent for that. Next up is a four-way. The winner of this enters the ladder match for the TNT Championship at Forbidden Door. Orange Cassidy, former champion, versus Kyle O'Reilly versus Jay Lethal, the man who will be pinned here, versus Ray Phoenix.
You knew what? You knew as soon as he was in the match, you already knew like he's getting pinned.
This is a pretty good match.
They did over there trying to act like he like the best wrestler in the world.
This is a pretty good match, though. Everybody got their shit in, even Jay Lethal for a minute, kicking everybody out the ring so he can get himself a good, quick and Fargo strut. You know what I'm saying?
That was the best part of the match. When he keep going outside, like, nope. I didn't need him to do the elbow drop on the random arm.
We got down to the end of the match. Lethal grabs a figure four on Cassidy. Riley grabs a guillotine on Phoenix. Lethal goes for the save on Phoenix, so that Riley grabs a Lethal for a cross arm breaker. Cassidy and Phoenix break that up until Cassidy puts Phoenix down with a DDT. Back up, Lethal takes over on everyone before trying to figure four on Phoenix. Gets reverted to a small package for the victory for Ray Phoenix. So, next week on Dynamite, we get Ray Phoenix versus Will Ospreay. So, that's a pretty good match. Post-match, Trent and Don Callis came down the ring trying to fuck with Orange Cassidy. Throwing the chair inside of the ring. Cassidy grabs the chair to even things up. Chris Statlander comes down like she's trying to be a peacemaker, but all of a sudden, then she steals on Orange Cassidy. And then she just rolls off with Statlander. Willow Nightingale does run down to make the save, though, to help run them off. She cuts a very impassive promo later. We'll get to that. Chris Jericho's here doing his new gimmick, the learning tree thing,
shit was so funny.
where he's super loud and
That was so funny. Like, look.
he's educational to his driver.
That one got me.
And the cameraman.
3 lanes. I'm like, what the? Come on, bro. Hold the camera like this. I know I've been wrestling for 20 years. Hi. I'm like, oh my God.
Back to Willow Nightingale. She's annoyed she lost the TNT title. But she said she ticked off her Statlander just as much for helping cost that and said, down the line, I'll see you again, Mercedes Moné. Orange Cassidy kind of walks through here, gets her a fist bump. I'm not saying that the promo word for word here, but it was very good
say
promo.
this, man.
She was basically saying, like, my secret power is my smile.
I'm going to say this, bro. In wrestling right now, her and Cody are like the two most, like, super baby faces ever, bro. Willow Nightingale, like, and then what? Again, that was a damn good promo by Willow Nightingale. She basically showed that she was vulnerable. She ain't like show her what's name, but like she was hurt. She let Mercedes know that like you still ain't get one over on me. I still gotta get my get back at you. But basically let her know that like Chris, I'm on your ass right now. You who I'm focused on at the moment. And then Orange Cassidy with that limp bust. That's the best part. He was like, she was so happy though.
It's like, yes, confirmation. That's how her face read. I was rolling. Christopher Daniels announces that the next match in TNT qualifying match was Mark Briscoe versus Brian Cage. Love Mark Briscoe, right? But it shows you how far Brian Cage has fallen. But apparently, I mean, he resigned, as we said a couple months ago, so apparently he's up for this. But he did a typical Brian Cage shit here, but Mark Briscoe pulled this shit out with a froggy bro, 10 minutes and 15 seconds. It was basically a brawling match where they fought to the outside a lot, so it's really not good to go through.
I thought Cage would have went over in that one.
Nope. I thought so too.
Wow.
Mark Briscoe said, hey,
and nothing against Mark Briscoe. Nothing against Mark Briscoe. It just seemed like in that match, it just seemed like that Cage would be the one that will go over.
I know. It felt like there was a little more stakes to it, too, also, because Jack Perry was watching the match the whole time, considering. So was Don Callis and Tanote Kateska from somewhere in the arena. So showing that a little more gravitas to the match, because they both want to be involved in the TNT title match, so I'm assuming both of them will be. Jack Perry cut a promo after, so he's going to win that title. The premier athletes interrupt Samoa Joe and Hook. making another appearance here. We brought him up earlier this week. Hook's Funyuns being knocked away from his hand. Joe Ho's hooked back from
Not the
beating
Funyuns.
Yeah, he owed, Joe Ho's hooked back from beating their ass. Told them they'd like to pick their spots. Jericho educating Matt Menard and Angelo Parker and back. First, Matt Menard about taking over permanently on commentary for him and making sure he enunciates. And then to Angelo Parker about parenting and being a husband and stuff. As they're walking away, the best part of the whole thing that I forgot to mention is the bad apple Brian Keefe, making sure people put respect on Jericho's name. So as they're leaving, he goes to Angelo Parker and is like, that baby better respect Chris Jericho. And just walks off.
He calling like a kiss ass. Brian Keith calling like a kiss ass.
The Acclaim come out to do their rap, but they get cut off on the Titantron by the Young Bucks for talking shit about him last week. So they said, yeah, this segment's cut. Take your ass to the back. Keep rolling. We got a long show. Let's go. Said, nope, cut that rap shit. Get up out of here. And as they did it, he was like, hey, listen. This segment's cut. He said, come on to the back, fellas.
Oh my God.
Swerve Strickland's next up. And he's like, hey, MJF, little bitch. He basically said he's ready for War Ospreay. He says, here's the contract, rubber stamp it, I pay for it, send it off to England. Said he's proud of Team EW, but you came with short, so next time you need to call up the world champion. I'll get the job done for you. It showed a preview video of Stephanie Valkyr and Mercedes Moné. They'll be facing each other at Forbidden Door. Next match, Blackpool Combat Club versus CMLL. Now, I mentioned this maybe about a month ago. First of all, first time we get full Blackpool Combat Club with Yuta is back. Picked up the victory in this match with the seat belt pin. CMLL guys looked great in defeat in this match, though. This is a pretty good match, and they kind of had history here since they've been fighting each other for the last couple months or so. So we'll see where that goes. Here, let's talk about some spots that happened in the match. You did a fastball special that connected early before they went into the break after. I think Danielson hit a heart attack on Magnus right prior to that. Back from the break, Moxie's rocking away at Magnus, who manages to energize who manages to insecure his way to freedom. Xfinge comes. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even mention who's on the other side of this. Blackpool Combat Club versus Xfinge, Volator Jr., Magnus, and Rugido. Rugido. However you pronounce that. I'm sorry I pronounced that. Maybe very fucked up. Anyway, Esfinge comes in with a monkey flip on Claudio, then grabs a one-leg roll-up for two. Claudio cuts off running knees, hits a swing to Magnus, and Moxley drops him with a drop kick after about 12 rotations. Volator's back in with a sunset flip for two. Rugido hits a power slam on Yuta. Once Yuta gets back up, he hits an angle slam and turns that into the seatbelt pin for the victory at 11 minutes and 58 seconds. Jericho runs into some random guy backstage, and he's schooling him on how to put chicken and dumplings onto his plate. Thanks, guys! Dan Garcia plays a video about how he's going to be going after the international title. The Acclaim try to run into the Bucks. Try to run up in their locker room, but security stops them. He said, yeah, just to let you know, you guys are fucking assholes, basically, is what he was saying. He said, good guys, we'll see you next week. Good talk. Post-break, the Bucks are talking to the Patriarchy and Christian Cage backstage, and basically saying, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. You know, we've had a good partnership. I know it hasn't worked out so fruitfully so well, but this is going to continue, so we'll see where there goes. Next up, Mariah May versus Saraya. Some people find this to be a divisive match because Mariah May lost. People probably thought, her momentum would continue, but I think this was storyline, so it made sense. Let's get into it. She lost to Saraya, which is a viable opponent there. She didn't lose to some rando. Like, if she'd have lost to Harley Quinn, then I'd have been mad. I was like, man, come on, you can't go losing to her. I mean, sorry, Hardy Cameron, you can't go losing to her. She came to the ring with Hardy Cameron and Zach Knight. Tony Storm and Luther came to the ring with Mariah May for her match, surprisingly for once. Tony Storm, a treasure, of course, on commentary here. At one point in time, towards the end of the match, she had me rolling because I guess she was gonna like try to get in there to make the save right before Mariah May had tapped out, and she like tried to reach and grab her heel while walking to like take them off, and she goes and fell right in her fucking ass. It was hilarious. She did it like so pratfall, but it got up like she meant to do it, and then rolled into the ring. But instead of fighting off Saraya, she basically was hugging Mariah May to her bosom, just trying to protect her. And Saraya came down and jumped her. I'll explain everything that happened from there again, but let me get into the match that happened prior to all that happening. Mariah May came down dressed as Outcast version of Tony Storm, by the way. This is a pretty good match, hard-hitting slug out between the two. She came back in. They took a break after getting May got ran into the barricade. They took a break, coming back from the break. May hitting winning a slug out, hitting a hard headbutt on Saraya. May hits a Hurricanrana, takes her out of the corner, then hits her with a missile dropkick for 2. Running hip attack by May in the corner, gets another 2 count. Saraya's back up, she hits the rampage, and then sets her into like a scorpion crosslock, which looks like a reverse version of the sharpshooter, but also doing a chicken wing. So basically her legs are wrapped here, but while she also has the chicken wing here. So she's just all hog tied there. And she basically had to nod her head to tap out. Match with 9 minutes and 6 seconds. So as I said, Tony Storm busts her ass trying to get in the ring and protect her pseudo daughter. As Saraya and Hardy Cameron try to jump them, Mina Sawakawa comes down to make the save. Spitting back fist Yurikins, taking out Saraya and Hardy Cameron, running them out the ring. Then from there, Mariah May makes them shake hands. Because Tony Storm was acting like a salty bitch. And she's sorry, like, what's this? That type of deal. Makes them shake hands, but they're going to be opponents coming up at Forbidden Door, so we should see where this goes. Mariah May is in the middle. I've also heard, this should be dope, Mariah May is asked to be on the background of both in the poster. Because she's tied to both of them.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
You know what I'm saying?
That'd be awesome.
And basically, the winner basically gets her. This continues on Rampage, so we'll talk about that when we come back.
Oh, so she basically saying whoever wins this match is basically what's her name? Oh. Well, you just gonna stick to Tony Storm then. Tony Storm's going to win.
Last Jericho spot of the night. Jericho runs in a private party in the back, and he tells them that, hey, why is your party private? You should open it up to the public. He say, so everybody can be involved. And they say, thanks, but no thanks, guys. And an argument ensues, which pisses off, well, even though he stayed in character, I guess it's made Jericho mad, or made Brian Keith mad, I should say. So now there's going to be a tag match with a private party next week versus Big Bill and the Bad Apple Brian Keith, I guarantee it. Last up, Bryan Danielson cuts a impassioned promo. Happy about Wheeler Yuta being back and getting a win for the team. But he's not been happy about his trajectory recently. He said 8 months ago, I announced that I'm going to be quitting full-time wrestling basically by the end of this year. And since I've announced that, I've lost every big match I've had. He said this was culminated for me by being the one that got pinned to Anarchy in the arena. But he says, if anything, it has fired me up more to make sure that I go out. He said this year isn't done yet. I'm going to try to make sure I can have a chance to go out on top. So he wants in on the Owen Hart tournament, which is awesome. Big name in the Owen. Because he knows they get the world title shot at All In if they win it. So he's basically entered his name into the match. And this has him reinvigorated and fired up is basically what the point of the promo was. And main event time. AEW World Title match. Swerve Strickland taking on Roderick Strong. Swerve coming out with Prince Nana. The Kingdom coming out with Roderick Strong. They go technical to start the match off. Swerve is a headbutt into an arm drag. Too early for a house call, so he does not hit it. Strong builds to the floor. Back in, Swerve starts on Strong's knees. Undisputed Kingdom had the distraction that breaks up with the Swerve stomp. Strong backbreaker swerve into the turnbuckle until his drop kick through the ropes is blocked. Swerve posts him hard. Take a break. Back from break. Seated abdominal stretch. It starts to come back. Middle ropes elbow back on the back. Sets up a back breaker for a brain buster, I should say, for 2. Slow it down a little bit. Power bomb into a power slam. 2 count. Strong gets threaded for house call. Sends Strong back to the outside once again. Once on the outside, Swerve diving to the outside of the top of the kingdom, which they catch him, but they didn't get kicked out of the match for it because they didn't do anything other than set him back to the ground. But it did give Strong the upper hand from there because he brought him, hit a move on him, brought him back to the ring, got a 2 count from there. From that though, Strong hit a cold breaker. He got cut off in his he got cut off in his comeback though. Sick kick by Strong, Swerve sends him to the apron, hits another house call to retain the title. 14 minutes and 10 seconds. Then we end Dynamite with Swerve and Nana doing the dance with the granny at ringside, and the granny was doing it too. And that was the end of Dynamite.
All right, going to SmackDown. Yeah. All right, so SmackDown starts off with the Bloodline. Basically, Paul Heyman basically said that until Roman Reigns come back, Solo is the head of the table. Basically. Solo basically had double proclamations tonight, starting with Tama Tonga being named the right-hand man. Also, Tonga Loa has officially been inducted into the Bloodline. Heyman tried to wrap it up, but Solo like, why you trying to hurry up and rush it? He basically said that y'all should be thanking me for sending your ass against Kevin Owens last week. He said I am doing that because Kevin Owens wants to come down here right now, right now, and Kevin Owens comes down on cue. Heyman bails. This leads to a brawl, but against the number game. Out comes the Street Profits for the save though. So Owens clears the chair and grabs the ring. After that, next we get after the whole brawl, Solo tells Heyman to make a 6-man tag match, or it's gonna be Heyman versus Tama Tonga. basically non-title match. Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, Indy Hartwell, Candice LeRae. Sister German suplex gets the win for Cargill and Belair at 6:32. After that, the other 4 come down to take on the champs, but basically they just fight them all off. Nick Aldis tells Cody Rhodes not to get into a fight with AJ Styles because Cody's pissed about the whole fake retirement thing, so he's literally on a loading dock waiting for AJ Styles. He's like waiting for AJ to pull up so he can what's the name. And they said, don't do this. Cody said, no, I'm taking care of this by myself, basically. Out comes Apollo Crews. He gets jumped by Angel Umberto. This is one thing I hate. And then eventually they got a call from Mess to take Apollo Crews away. Like, we're not doing that with him. He don't get that kind of treatment. He don't get ambulances and medical attention. No. Anyway, get Johnny Gargano versus Grayson Waller. This right here is also showing the teasing of possibly a team breakup here. Chopping Theory are here too. Starts off quick with Gargano basically taking early control until Waller hits a rolling stunner. Gargano hits a sliced bread. But then we get to the end of this match. Electric chair drop, back-to-back suplex by Drop Gargano. Then Gargano bail to the outside. Johnny Gargano goes, leap through the middle rope to take him out. But Waller pulls Austin Theory in the way, so he takes out Austin Theory. He really sacrificed his own tag partner. And Theory's face, it looks so unsurprising. Like he did not expect it at all. At all. Then that basically leads to a running, flipping, unprettier. Basically, which finishes Gargano. So Waller gets the win here. Basically, sacrificing what's the name. So Nick Aldis basically has security now. He's telling Cody Rhodes that AJ Styles is arriving. Styles arrives. He's in the sunroof, And the OC is in the way. He got the OC with him. And Rose Bailey said he's going to the ring. He about to call Styles out for a fight. He said Styles wants a shot at Classic Championship. He said that's fine because I want it to be an I Quit match. All this makes the match official. This leads to Rose gonna be held back by security again. Belair and Cargill leave Nick Aldis' office saying that they want a triple threat match. And Classic Champion with Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark and Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. Them the two teams that jumped him after the what's the name. Next we get LA Knight, yeah,
Puma Asics, yeah.
versus Mello Don't Miss. Carmelo Hayes. He missed tonight. Knight gets the win here at 8 minutes and 30 seconds. After he missed, the Mello Don't Miss. And two, a BFT for the win. Knight needed to win to boost him towards the title shot. Hayes shouldn't have been a person that should have took the L in this match though. Next, Tiffany Stratton offers to unite with Nia Jax, who looks annoyed. Michin comes in to throw water in Nia Jax's face, and they have to be held apart. And this part is funny because as they breaking up, Nia Jax is going to walk, and then she slips. Slipped on her ass in the water.
She always busting her ass or her hole or something.
Next, we get Bailey here for a chat. She mentions the match. She said she respects Nevin from the Mae Young Classic. She knows she lost everything. Piper talks about her journey. Bailey says she walked to a person with at Performance Center. Now she has an annoying friend in Naomi and everything handed to her. That's what Piper was saying about her. And she said that she's going to win the title. Logan Paul says he's in the World Tetris Championship because he wants a real challenger, basically throwing shade at LA Knight, basically. So I guess playing Tetris is more of a competition than you facing LA Knight. Then we get our main event, Street Profits, Kevin Owens versus the Bloodline. This match basically ends in get to the end here for it. Gets the shot of his own. Diamond Tag brings in Owens. Owens and Solo get a face off. Owens drops him. Swan time. Ford hits the big running flip die that he always hit to everybody on ringside. We just basically call Solo to whack him with a chair and gets the DQ. And 9 minutes and 40 seconds. And I mean, he whacked the sheen out of Montez Ford with that chair. with that chair. Basically, the sub, because the match was picking up at the end. But the goal here is to make the Bloodline look more violent. So at least Owens ain't take the pin in this one. Post-match beatdown. Owens get powerbombed through the announce table to end the show. So.
Alrighty then. Let's get into Rampage and we can get out of here. It is currently 5 o'clock on the dot. AEW Rampage went down like this week. Great main event. Had the best women's match of any wrestling show on TV this week, personally, for me in the main event. We'll get there in a second. As I mentioned earlier, Penta had a match this week against The Butcher. Went 9 minutes and 48 seconds. They subbed away at each other to start the match off until The Butcher knocked him down and hammered away against the ropes. Penta fights back, strikes away in the corner, setting up a handstand dropkick to rock Butcher again, and a head scissors sends Butcher to the floor, where he happens to run over Alex Abrahantes, which Excalibur said on
greatest hype man ever.
Alex Abrahantes said, Excalibur said on commentary, like, damn, Taz been waiting for that for years. The distracted Penta gets run over and clotheslined against the apron. Butcher takes over. Butcher works on the arm, kicks him in the shoulder as we take a break. Back Penta hiding a sling blade for 2. Then the backstabber out of the corner gets the same. Butcher half nuts and back burger gets the same, but Penta hits the fear factor. He gets the victory. Excuse me, as I said, 9 minutes, 48 seconds. Learning Tree's there. They come out to critique Matt Menard's commentary. making sure that he enunciates his words to talk as loud as I'm talking, guys. Thanks. The Acclaimed are here. Ooh, yes. This qualifies for our favorite game show because they're taking on Hunter Gray and Perviz.
Who?
Exactly. Guess that time.
Golly, I'm be saying who like the
Guess that squash.
Who facing them?
Hunter Gray and Parviz.
No, who facing? Who they're facing?
Oh, the Acclaimed.
Oh, they got a claim a squash match. See, they don't really squash people like that. But they might be mad at the EVPs though. So. I don't know. I'm saying minute 40.
You see, you started going down the wrong road when you say they don't squash people that much because they squash the fuck out of these people. Gray and Parvez look like bad Missing Link cosplayers. It's a brawl to start. Catherine
I got to start looking who these jobber guys look like.
It's a brawl to start. Catherine hits an AA on Gray. Mic drop finishes Gray 55 seconds.
Dang! Wow! Dang! That quick?
That quick.
Woo.
Shane Taylor warns Accident Andretti in top flight. I don't feel like that's
Hydro homies.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's even interesting enough to bring up on the show for real. But Gates, Cage of Agony. Well, I'm sorry, Cage wasn't here, so I guess it's just Gates of Agony when the Cage isn't involved, and it's just Bishop Khan and Toa Leona. Anyway, they took on Private Party. Cassie starts off fast and hits a springboard stunner on Tola, but a pound sends to the floor. Has Private Party rocked as we go into the break. Back from break, Cassie hitting a flip dive onto the gate, setting up a swan time for 2. Khan takes both of them down in the corner, hands it back to Tola to take over. Quinn avoids a Vader bomb, but then it's back to Cassie for a 450 when Quinn adding shooting star press for a 2 count. Tola's right back up though, swinging rock bottom and open the gates. Finishes Cassidy off 7 minutes and 47 seconds. Next up, the horror that always delivers you more, Tony Storm, her words, not mine, promotes that she'll be making cinema this week.
The horror that delivers more. What the hell?
Hey, I didn't say it, she did. Tony Storm is ready to make cinema this week with Lady Frost on Collision. Next up, you get to play it twice in the same show, because we have the Bang Bang Scissor Gang, represented by Rock Hard Juice Robinson, who looks like a cosplay version of Bruiser Brody right now, but I love Juice, and I'll explain why in a second. Austin and Colton Gunn were your participants in this match, taking on Caleb Crush, Chris Wilde, and Tyler Payne.
I'm saying minute 20.
Off by 14 seconds. The reason why I love Juice in this is because you know their entrance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guns up, right? So they're going around in a circle. Everybody's all serious, like, yeah. Juice to the asses. Yeah, me dying. I was like, I'm so glad you're back, bro. So, as I said, this match went 1 minute and 34 seconds. The Guns let Robinson start the match. He runs Crush over and knocks Wild off the apron, pulls Payne in, spine buster into a cannonball setup, and a forward DDT finishes him off. That was it. Juice did all the work right quick.
Damn.
Then he did a quick roll call after the match and announced that he's the 4th member of a Trios champion, and they put all the belts around him.
Nice.
Next up, we get your man a bit. Mina Sarakawa versus Serena Deeb. And I love this match because going into it, I was like, how are they going to keep Deeb looking strong? Because I'm assuming Sarakawa's not losing going into her title match coming up soon at Forbidden Door. So let's get into it. Mina dances her way down to the ring. You get your typical Deeb entrance by her. First, she starts the match off working a standing armbar that gets reversed into a wrist lock. I'm not going to read up the notes on this one. I'll get into the crux of the match where it starts to pick up more. So they basically started working limbs with each other to start off. Deeb started trying to work Sarakawa's legs, and she did the reverse to her, working both knees, chop blocks down to the mat, some submissions, figure fours, a lot of driving knees into the mat, and that goes for both of them. Then they started picking the work up. The bad knees led to people not be able to follow up on some of the moves like Deep for a second. It was enough for Sauerkraut to rock Deep though with a discus forearm, hitting another discus forearm from there in the corner. Top rope knee drop to the shoulder that looked very vicious. They got a 2 count. They started doing some standing switches that led to a hard German suplex. Hammerlock lariat by Deep gave her a 2 count. She tried to go for the deep tox, but it got blocked. Mina's right back though with the figure 4. They started slapping each other away by both locking to the figure 4 before Deep can finally roll away into the ropes to break it up. She gets up, hits a power bomb, and turns the power bomb into a stretch muffler. But Mina somehow gets out of that and keeps running her knee into the mat. Tries to go for the Serenity Lock. Mina grabs her into a reverse sit out implant DDT for the victory. So basically, reverse the Serenity Lock. It just kind of met her at every turn on a reversal. So Deep looked very strong here in defeat. But Sauerkraut wins. Post-match, though, Mariah May comes out, of course, to celebrate with her girl. Toni Storm comes out looking like a fucking sourpuss, of course, in a bathrobe. But eventually comes down by the invite of Mariah May. And they all shake hands. But at first, when they get in, they start doing titty bumps against each other. Like, no, she wants my mother's breast. No, she wants my mother's breast. So they're bumping each other. Mariah May backs them up and hugs them both in. And then they both open the rope for her so she can leave first. But they argue over who's going to leave the ring next. So there's still the tension there between those two. And now it's the end of Rampage. And with that being the end of Rampage, it is also the end of... Not only the end of the show, it's the end of some of my damn best. Royals, you fucking suck. Anyway. That's in the Hot Tag Wrestle Corner for the week. We'll be back at you next week, bringing you... We'll have a new Mount Rushmore for sure. We're going to talk about the show Who Killed WCW that came on this week. We're going to give Clint a chance to catch up on that. We'll also be discussing NXT Battleground on next week's show and a typical show news and recap as we do here. First, gonna get out of here with some Mr. Ron Simmons, as we do every week. So, with that being said, I want half of your host. I'm Rob.
I'm Clint.
This is Ron. We're out.
No D with the ring. Yeah.